there'll be no opportunity for them to return to the party. But some people say, hey, who cares whether they return or they don't return? It's none of the business. They are trying to connect to Abuja. So it is what is trending now they're working with. And if the administration is favorable to them, I mean, they've increased FAC allocation, the senators and the lawmakers, they gave them more constituency projects money. They seem to be enjoying with the current administration. The president is accessible. It's not like before that you need to meet one chief of staff or meet one person like that, drop some money to access the president. You can access the president. So the door is open. Whatever conditions you have to agree to, you agree to that condition. That's basically what it is. All right. And some people believe that the president understands how this political machination works. So whatever tactic he can employ, he employs it. Some people think that the administration is working towards a one-party state. But some people feel that it doesn't matter. If a one-party state can deliver the dividends of democracy to everyone, why not? If we can enjoy governance, why not? What is important is for Nigerians to enjoy democracy, have a viable economy, go about their businesses. They're able to eat. They're able to feel secure, sleep with their two eyes closed. They're able to travel. They're able to just perform their activities. If a one-party political party can make it work, why not? But if the one party is not doing the needful in representing their interest, then what is the competition? Who will be the competition? So a lot is actually going on. Now, you recall last week that we heard that Governor Sanwo-Olu and the president seemed to have a rift. They said the president snubbed the governor of the state, Governor Sanwo-Olu, during the meetup when he wanted to commiserate and commission the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, the 30 kilometers or the 26 kilometer. There are different permutations as to how many kilometers. Well, as it stands now, the president and Sanwo-Olu met. So let's just say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared that his rift with the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is officially over. So apparently, it means that the speculation about the rift or the Cold War between the both of them was actually true. During a closed-door Salah homage visit on Sunday at the president's residence in Ikoyi, Lagos, Tinubu received members of the influential Governor's Advisory Council who came to plead on behalf of Sanwo-Olu and others to have fallen out of favor. According to sources who were present at the meeting, the GAC delegation led by its chairman Alhaji Tajuddin Ulusi openly acknowledged the president's displeasure with key figures in Lagos politics, particularly Governor Sanwo-Olu. In his remarks, Olusi reportedly appealed for forgiveness, stating that it was evident the president had been unhappy with certain persons in the state. Responding to the entities, President Tinubu is said to have told the gathering, "It's all over now. All is forgiven." The declaration prompted an emotional gesture of reconciliation, with Governor Sanwo-Olu and other GAC members reportedly prostrating before the president in a show of remorse and respect. So apparently, the whole situation with Obasa, the president was really not happy with the governor. There is nothing you're telling me. All of this is already being confirmed. That it was the Obasa scenario along with the GAC that made the president not to be happy with the governor. So obviously that speculation was true. The entire snubbing, the fact that the governor was there and then the president was, when he was talking about the revocation of some islands and land deals to some private buyers, when he was talking about the Lekki Deep Seaport. And he said, "Thank God the deputy governor is here." So everybody was like, what? The governor was there, and rather than referring to the governor, you refer to the deputy governor. So that was what made everything obvious that the president indeed was not happy with the Lagos State governor. And a couple of people across social media called the governor a couple of names, called him all sorts of names. But there's one beautiful thing though with the APC. If there is any rift or conflict, they really know how to resolve it. They don't let it escalate. They de-escalate the tension. They're very quick at resolving issues. They're very quick at closing up the friction. I hope the opposition party can do the same thing. Resolve the issue as fast as possible. Or don't the opposition have somebody that is like the president who seems to be one who knows how to call people together and resolve issues? I don't know. Why can't the opposition have that kind of godfather, that kind of elder that they look up to, that they can call, the person can call them and they resolve their differences and the party becomes formidable. So I think that's the reason why the APC seems to be like a party that is formidable, because somehow they know how to put themselves together regardless of the internal friction they all experience. And the president acknowledges that there are members amongst them that are not happy, but he has a way of appealing to them. So that is why a couple of people feel that the 2027 elections will actually be sporadic or me a clean sweep free for the president. I don't know how that is going to be. Otherwise, if there is any internal wrangling, maybe they are mute about it and will express their displeasure at the polls. It's an interesting moment. So, sources who were familiar at the meeting emphasized that no explanation or justification were offered by either side regarding the recent tension. But, the speculation was the whole Obasa scenario. So, basically, that it was a widely circulated video which showed the president appearing to snub Governor Sanwo-Olu during the commissioning of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway on May 31. So yes, apparently that speculation was right, that indeed there was tension amongst them. So if you must recall something, I have been saying it over and over again, that it feels like the insecurity in certain states is politically motivated. Okay, so for example, Governor Hyacinth Alia has alleged that top politicians in Abuja and the National Assembly are responsible for instigating killings and harboring and feeding those responsible for the crisis in the state. Aliyah made this allegation on Friday via a Monitor television program. He described the situation as very unsettling, noting that while the said politicians were interested in fighting for their position, it was his right to protect and serve the interests of the masses. He says it is very unsettling because top politicians who are very functional in the National Assembly are in Abuja are the architects and arrowheads of not just instigating, but harboring and keeping these people and feeding them in the bushes, taking care of all their needs and buying all the other gadgets for them. That is a hardcore allegation. No kidding. That is a hardcore allegation. If you make that kind of allegation, it means that there is something that you know. And he came out and said it on national television. So, PDP members called him, APC members called him and said, Oga, where is your proof? Who are these politicians? Mention names. The Secretary to the State Government of the Federation, George Akume, also came out and confronted him and said, Governor Aliyo, mention names. You're making allegations. Who are these persons? Tell us their names. What made you come to this conclusion? And you know that the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is actually from Benue. And while all of this insurgency has been going on, he's been mute. You would even think that persons who are within this axis would talk. None of them are speaking. None of them are saying anything. Up until now that Governor Hyacinth Alia came out to speak. So, like I said, for him to have made that statement, it is obvious that there is indeed a political motivation behind what is currently ongoing. And it is very worrisome, I must tell you. It is very, very worrisome. So, while the SGF was tackling Aliyah over insecurity claims, he actually defended Akume's role in Benue. So, according to a couple of persons, they feel that George Akume on his own has been doing the needful in trying to ensure that there is stability in the state. And the office, while defending the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, used the opportunity to criticize a comment of the Benue State Governor. So, they allege that a panel of inquiry has been set up by his administration. That is what Governor Leah is saying, that a panel of inquiry has been set up by the administration and they have uncovered links to unnamed individuals who are residing in Abuja and whom he accused of sponsoring insecurity in Benue. Like I said, it's a very drastic method if you consider how things have been ongoing. And if there is a panel that has been set up, I hope that it will not be swept under the carpet. Due diligence will actually be uncovered and then we will know those behind this. Meanwhile, I don't know if you know Harrison Gwamishu. So Harrison Gwamishu went to Delta State's Secretariat, their office, to meet the governor of the state. Harrison believes that there is a deliberate effort to clamp down, or rather quiet the voices calling out over the spate of insecurity. In Delta State, they've been complaining vehemently about kidnappers in the state. In fact, they complain that it has gotten so bad that these guys come. If a young man, we saw a video of a young man who was shot in Abraka, Delta State. And Harrison Gwamishu was saying, we cannot continue to allow this unfold. It has gotten so bad that people do not even understand the veracity of the situation. There were pictures online. He put it up on his X handle. He went to the government, he went to the state governor's, let's say, office, said he wants to meet the state governor. He's been trying to access the state governor. He tried to speak with the aide of the state governor, the special advisor, but they have not been responding as adequately as he wants. And if you know Harrison Kwamishu, he was illegally detained for about 4 years, and ever since he's been pushing up for police reforms. He's been collaborating with the police, helping persons whose family members have been kidnapped, seeing how they can give the kidnappers their money, use police intelligence to ensure that they are able to apprehend any of these kidnappers and their syndicates. Harrison has really been fighting for the rights of people, helping to protect people. I think at some point even his life has actually been on the line for something like this. And so we saw that video circulate. I want us to listen to Harrison. He did not find it funny. And he said that the state governor is going about politicking and that people are literally dying in the hands of kidnappers. So what is the priority of the state governor? Is everything all about politics? He was not happy. He went there. In fact, it got to a point where the security operatives in front of the secretariat of the governor's lodge or something like that wanted to be aggressive, and Harrison said we can't have that.
No video news and nothing is being done about it. Nothing is being done about it.
Stop
You
that.
cannot stop. You cannot stop.
It's not.
I want to see. Yes, I want to see. This is our government house. We are going to see government. Nothing is being done about it. People are killed daily. They said they gave 30 healers other ways. I want to see the governor. No, I'm on the solo protest too. I can't see governor. My name is Yakubu. I can't see His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewere. I can't see Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewere. My name is Harrison Wamnishu. My name is Harrison Wamnishu.
Don't push me. Use your gun. Use your gun.
This is our state. This security in Delta State. People are being kidnapped daily, and nothing is being happening.
Wait.
Nothing is happening. If you pay for it, you break it, you pay for it. If you break it, you pay for it. If you break the phone, you pay for it. I want to see His Excellency, the governor of Delta State.
Are we not Deltans? Are we not Deltans? What is the problem? Oga, are we not Deltans?
I want to see the governor.
You threatened to destroy my phone. This is a retired appointee. You don't.
Mr. Harrison. When I was assistant to the governor, I have reached out to him several times. I have messages on my WhatsApp to reach out to him to complain. I'm coming, sir. Yes. I was assistant to the governor of civil societies. I have tried several times to reach out to him. No way to reach out to him to tell him what is going on. And I resigned. I said I will not be a governor. This governor, yes, he is aware. I resigned my appointment. I said I will not be appointed again. Since governor who appointed me cannot listen to me, why should I be an appointee of the government? So now let us come back to the community and fight for our people. And that's why I'm here today. To tell him about what's going on in Africa, other areas in Delta State. Operation Sweep was given 31 healers. They've never want to bring the bush to assist us. Then why giving them healers? Give the healers to people who are doing the job, the vigilante, the kidnapping squad who are doing the job, the police. At Cabin Code, these RROS at Cabin Code, they don't have any single operational vehicle. They rent vehicle to go and operate. Is it right? They brought vehicle, personal vehicle to go and attack kidnappers. Is it right? Fund the security, fund the vigilante, and then disband the operation sweep. Who are not doing the work they ought to do. That's why I'm here today, and nothing else. I know they joke. That's me. I'm telling you the truth. So not just incite us to do it to their mind. Tomorrow we go block here. Tomorrow everywhere go they block. Nothing will happen. And they tell you the truth now. Go ask them. Not they good man. When they talk to me, they don't talk to me. Not they talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Why talk to? Why they don't believe?
No, so if you have a person, they come from village. Abavu is as me. Abavu every day kidnap Abavu. Every day Abavu they kidnap Abavu. I can't see His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewere.
to go there and said he wants to meet the state governor. And the state governor recently just defected to the All Progressives Congress. So one would have expected that now that you're in the party, you're connected to Abuja, that your state will be safe. I mean, I think that's part of the promise, isn't it? So what happened? Harrison was bitter. He was complaining that kidnapping is rife. And it even got to a point where they're asking some Hausa Fulani persons within the community to leave. The same thing too in Benue State. So if Governor Aliyah is telling us that there are persons sponsoring the insecurity in the state, that's a very huge allegation. What is the federal government going to do about it? Who are these names? What is the end product? Because you use people's lives for your political agenda. What kind of agreement did they want to reach with Governor Aliyah that he refused, that you began to kill the members within the community? How did it escalate to this point? What do the politicians do in all those other states where insecurity is not that rife, where these people are not really killing? So, and then kidnapping is now the order of the day into the hinterlands within community. Again, politics with people's lives is dangerous. It's bad. It shouldn't be. That shouldn't be the case at all. Okay, so that's one thing we're also going to look into. Now, you remember that when I started this conversation, I talked about the permutation ongoing. Now, Fahimi, yes, a former Ekiti state governor believes that if things are done properly, if elections are to hold adequately, transparently, objectively, without any preference, that he believes that Peter Obi would actually flog Tinubu at the poll. He was very passionate when he was speaking. We don't know how true that is because, like I told you, the coalition now did not adopt Peter Obi, because he said he's not desperate. I'm going to even play that clip where Peter Obi said he is not desperate for power. He's not desperate at all. That was basically when he left the PDP to join the Labour Party. And I remember that interview, he was asked questions, why did you leave? He said there were some things within the party that he wasn't comfortable with. So if he has always maintained that stance over 3 years or 2 years ago, if he's not desperate, and a couple of people feel that he needs to apply that desperation, are we going to say that there may be no heavy competition in 2027 and it's going to be a clean sweep and a clean sway for the All Progressives Congress? How desperate, or what measures that will be different from what was utilized by the opposition in 2023 will they apply to supposedly vote out the administration of the president? Remember that now he is the president. He has the state power. He has all the machination. He has everything at his disposal to remain, in 2031. So what other strategies at play, and with what is going on with the coalition, do they seem serious at all to possibly defeat this administration come 2027? So let's listen to Kayode Fahimi here, giving his own permutation as to what he thinks and why he thinks that would be the case in respect to Peter Obi.
Yes. Obi flogging people. If you are flogging a child, that child must cry.
It's Nigerians that flog them with votes now.
It is Obi, that Obi people. They chop the kidney or the liver of. In fact, Obi.
Did you expect this level?
I don't expect.
Did you expect this level
I am
of
even afraid as I am. I didn't sleep. When I was young, Obi here, Obi there, Obi there, Obi. Today, everybody has known what Obi is made up of. That's what I said to you. This Obi, don't allow anybody to put stains on your clothes. You have put up a great fight.
Yes.
A fantastic fight. When you look at the things I have here, it will help you. In the president's place, he lost election with the sitting governor there. In Lagos, Asiwaju lost election. The Speaker of the National Assembly is from Lagos. Obi no jebe, pardon me. That's Obi.
Yes.
Obi flogging people. But
even Okowa.
I don't want to mention names.
Yeah, they are your PDP.
I don't want to mention names. Everybody knows the reason why what killed his mother and his father. As long as you are the one that succeed your father and your mother, you must know what killed them.
Yes.
So what is killing PDP? They know it. I don't want to put my mouth inside that. This election now is largely between Obi and APC. Even in Ayu states, Ayu lost his ward. Ayu lost his local government. What are you talking about? When they used to tell us, when fish decay from inside, There's nothing left, sir. If fish is decaying from outside, you can quickly use knife and cut it off. If it's from inside, there's no solution.
But if it decays from the head,
From the head, that's what I mean.
redeemable.
Yes. Let me tell you something. In this Lagos, I've told you, who will imagine Obi will come here? When I had the result, 50,000 to APC 29,000, I said, to sleep became a problem. In President State, you redeem 1.2 million votes and you still won by 5,000. That means you have redeemed, you have taken the 1 million votes, 1.2 away, and you still won. Let's go a little further. In this Lagos, Asiwaju lost. But Jamil Abila lost.
No, he didn't.
No, not in person.
You mean,
the party.
Okay,
The
the
party
impact of this defeat.
Yes, sir.
So, you heard him there. That was IFIG. And so, but people say that for IFIG, you can't say. So he will say, they say he may say something now in public and then go inside and it's a different representation. I remember when he had an interview on I think Channels Television and they asked him questions. I think he made a statement then. He said that he may have to stick with his brother. So that's why a couple of people feel that sometimes they don't really trust when he speaks, because they feel that when he speaks, it's not necessarily in accordance with, maybe he speaks in reference to how he feels at the time, you get, or possibly when he thinks that, okay, there are some certain things that he would want to say, but he cannot categorically say due to certain reasons. Number one being the fact that, okay, I have somebody that is from my side that I'm supporting, so that will basically be what he wants to represent. But hey, that's basically clarifying that. Meanwhile, remember I told you we're going to do a playback on when Peter Obi said that he isn't desperate when he let the people
Of this country.
You don't think that PDP is the right vehicle for you to achieve that?
No. It's like I said, I've left. I've moved on, to where I think the process might allow me. It's not about, I keep saying, it's not about winning or losing. I would rather lose doing the right thing than win doing the wrong thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's basically what he said. Meanwhile, we'll continue with the situation concerning the former military head of state, Yakubu Gowon. He disclosed that the Biafra civil war was never his choice. Gowon presided over Nigeria's affairs from July 6, 1967 to January 15, 1970. Gowon described the civil war as the most challenging period of his life. Gowon stated this while speaking at the 5th convention of the Christian Men's Fellowship Abuja Anglican Diocese in Abuja on Saturday. Gowon was of the notion that as it stands at this very moment, he says that while he honors the lifetime integrity of the country, he believes that forgiveness, reconciliation, and unity across faith and ethnicity is what is important. He explained that he prosecuted the civil war because preserving national unity was a pressing priority. For him, he believes that the civil war was not out of hate for the Igbos or the Biafrans, but the reason why the civil war and the actions taken at the time was to ensure national cohesion and unity. So this is what he said. He said, I always remember the civil war. It was the most difficult period of my life. It was not my choice, but I had to be there and I had to do what I did in order to keep this country together. It was never a hatred against any people, I can assure you. So, he said that his decisions had often been guided by prayers and a desire to act with integrity and compassion. So, I'm going to take you back to when Yakubu Gowon, when the war was actually called off. His passing remarks, his final remarks as the military head of state. He was a very young man at the time, and he was able to express himself. So let's take a listen to him.
The so-called rising sun of Biafra is set forever. It will be a great disservice for anyone to continue to use the word Biafra to refer to any part of the East Central state of Nigeria. The tragic chapter of violence is just ended. We are at the dawn of national reconciliation. Once again, we have an opportunity to build a new nation. You will have heard that my government may seek the assistance of friendly foreign governments and bodies, especially in the provision of equipment to supplement our national effort. There are, however, a number of foreign governments and organizations whose so-called assistance will not be welcome. These are the governments and organizations which sustained the rebellion. They are thus guilty of the blood of thousands who perished because of the prolongation of the futile resistance. They did not act out of love for humanity. Their purpose was to disintegrate Nigeria and Africa and impose their will on us.
All right, that was Yakubu Gowon then when he was young, and that was his expression about the civil war. Seems to be that he's reiterating the same thing this time around, talking about the civil war, where he said that it wasn't out of hatred, but that he had to do what he did, and he asked for forgiveness, reconciliation, and unity across faith and ethnicities. My analyst today, I actually have Barrister Eze Luche joining me via the telephone. Barrister Eze Luche, happy Eid al-Kabir to you. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you very much, Barrister Eze.
To your listeners.
Thank you so much. And I also have right here in the studio Mr. Lawal Ekundayo. Mr. Lawal Ekundayo, good evening and thank you for joining us today.
Good evening.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Barrister Eze, I'm going to start off with you since you're on the telephone. Barrister Eze, what do you think about Yakubu Gowon's declaration that the Biafran civil war wasn't about hatred for anyone, it was the unity of Nigeria? I was able to play a throwback of his reaction immediately the civil war was over, condemning the international communities that assisted the Biafrans at the time during the war. So what do you think about his statement where he said we should accept and accommodate unity, reconciliation, forgiveness across our nationalities, and that let us move forward?
It is rather unfortunate that at the age of 90, Yakubu Gowon continues to exude ignorance, palpable ignorance of what transpired during the war. If you recollect, when the war, 1967, this was a 33-year-old young man, unmarried bachelor, who perhaps most likely didn't even know his left from his right. He was not even on the hierarchy, or he was not supposed to be the head of state, but for cosmetic purposes, a Christian from the Middle Belt was placed at the top so that it will douse the real image of what that school and the governance of that era was supposed to impress on anybody. So if at this age, at 90, he has still not realized what has happened to him, with the killings going on in his own home state, in Benue, in Plateau, the Southern Zaria, the ethnic cleansing of genocidal proportions going on there, Mr. Yakubu Gowon has still not realized himself. It is a rather sad spectacle that such a man still exists. This was a guy who, after becoming head of state, he now decided to go back to school. That is the tragedy of Nigeria. We have characters who, after ruling over Nigeria, go back to school. It happened not just only with Yakubu Gowon, also with Olusegun Obasanjo, which shows that when they were ruling, they were bereft of knowledge, they were bereft of the intellect that was required to even rule a country as misjoined as Nigeria. So if Yakubu Gowon is still making those fundamental errors, he doesn't know what transpired during the war. He's still talking of national unity, of people who are intrinsically disunited, people who have continued, but the record of disunity in Nigeria is palpable. I mean, how will you, people wake up in the morning and start killing, and he's still talking of unity at this age, 90 years? Haba. It's quite unfortunate.
So,
I will shy away from saying it's a wasted life, but if he, at this age, continues to peddle this kind of rumors, has not shown remorse, still talks of national unity, does not understand that he played into the hands of the West, and he was used. But the memoirs of the British government has revealed the role they played in the Civil War. And this man is still talking all this crap he's saying. It's very annoying. That is why they don't want to teach Nigeria. They don't want to teach history to students in schools. Because common teaching of history in schools will expose the fraud, will expose the confusion that Yakubu Gowon represents. It's a disgrace.
Barrister Eze Eluche, at this point in time, don't you think that that should be the conversation that Nigerians should have? How we can move on, from what has happened. The Southeasterners feel that ever since that dispensation, when it comes to politics in this part of the world, they've been completely put aside. So it's between the North and the South, and if you're even referring to the South, it's basically the Southwest or the South-South. The Southeast is usually not in the picture, and it feels like the political configuration has been done in such a way that opportunity cannot present itself. But if you look at the political alignment and the trajectory of how politics is played in this part of the world, don't you think that the Southeast has not either been able to actively present somebody that they consider to be a strong candidate, or they've not been able to politique like others know how to politic, and that's basically why they've not been part of the fraction as to when it comes to active politics until 2023 when Peter Obi presented himself. That's one. And then two, if at this point in our political hemisphere, in our political climate, this kind of reasoning is rife, the call for unity and national comprehension and everyone harmonizing, shouldn't that be the utmost call? Or do you want him to rephrase and re-establish the gory details of what transpired during the war?
Is it not the first question you asked about
Yes.
the South is being able to present a candidate that will move the policy forward?
Yeah.
I think we should start getting serious with ourselves. Describing what is going on in Nigeria as politics, as democracy, it's actually a farce. It's a grammatical blunder. We're not doing politics. We're not doing democracy. We're just doing imposition and autocratic imposition of characters at the helm of affairs. And when you talk of producing quality candidates, the Southeast has always produced the most qualitative candidates.
Really?
Going back in history.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you mention? Can you take us down memory lane?
Let me give an example.
Okay.
Yes. When the Southeast produced Alex Ekweme to contest, a renowned architect of international stature, who was the candidate from the North, a primary school teacher. I mean, they were not morally, they were not equivalent. They were different pedestals. So the contraption chose, or rather, Sharia was imposed for whatsoever reasons. And this has replicated itself. In the 1999 elections, the Southeast produced somebody, Ogunnoyono, who is also a professor. A lecturer in the university. And what happened? A general who just went ruling Nigeria. Obasanjo was imposed. Again, now this time around, you produce Peter Obi, an intellectual par excellence who has practiced development and how to uplift people from poverty. And who does Nigeria impose in the process? Somebody who has paid fines for drug trafficking, been involved in all manners of manipulations, and continues to do that. So it is not a matter of the Southeast has not produced candidates, but that the system does not allow for the Southeast to bring somebody or to even govern the Nigerian policy for whatever reasons that the system has. But describing what we have in Nigeria as democracy or as politics is a misnomer. It is grammatical blunder because we are not practicing democracy and we're not having politics. It's just gerrymandering in this country.
Interesting.
You asked the second question. I've lost track of it. What was the second one about?
No, you've answered both questions. When we talked about General Yakubu Gowon, I was saying that don't you think this is an opportunity for us to move forward? This is a time where he's calling for unity and peace. Yeah.
Let me address the issue of what he was calling for unity, addressing. Let us not make any pretenses.
Okay.
Nigeria has not made any attempt to be unified as a country. Rather, it's only one group that has tried their very best to extend to other parts of the country. Even in the Southeast or in the South-South, how many people from the North have properties, are investing in that part of the country? Even from the Southwest, how many of them are investing in the Southeast or in the South-South? It's only one group that keeps on investing. It's when you invest that you become part of that area. But you have a situation whereby the rest of the country are trying to be smarter than others, working towards disunity. And then they will keep on mouthing, talking about national unity. What kind of national unity are we talking about? That is why, for instance, somebody will be a president of Nigeria and he does not bother about putting a railway line across the southeast or even putting gas pipelines, because to him, it is not part of the country. But if we had people who had invested, whether in properties or in other terms, across the country, then we know we have a country. So Nigeria has, for the past over 60 years of independence, not moved towards unity. Rather, there has been this deceit against our unity, when in reality, even the system keeps on dividing people and creating disunity. How can a government like the current government, headed by Bola Tinubu, who has flooded the whole place, all the major ministries, what is ethnic groups and its cronies, they are talk of national unity, and you listen to him, or somebody like Yakubu Gowon, who has been part of all this mess, talk of national unity, who is he deceiving? We should talk straight to ourselves. Perhaps if we say that we don't want to be unified again, let us be frank to ourselves. The worst lie we have been lying, the lie we lie to ourselves.
All right, Barrister Ezelichi, thank you very much for that. Another thing to consider is, what's his name? Governor Hyacinth Alia. He made a statement recently where he said that there are certain persons in Abuja who are responsible for the killings in Benue State. And he said that a panel has been set up to investigate it. He did not mention the names of these persons. He did not call out their names of any politicians who may be involved. But he said that he has set up a judicial panel to investigate the reasons behind the attacks, adding that the report indicted many big names and vowed to take up the matter when he receives the full report. So, Secretary to the Government of the Federation Office responded to Governor Alia that what proof does he have for the allegation he made. The APC too also responded to what Governor Alia said about the fact that there are certain politicians, even in Abuja, responsible for the incessant killings in Benue State. Would we say that it is very, very apt now, and whatever speculation that is out there, that the recent surge in the killings of persons in Benue, in Plateau, even with the recent groups of terrorist organizations cropping out, that all of this is politically motivated? And if that is the case, to what end?
Well, the fact is this: with what is going on in the middle belt part of Nigeria and across the country, actually, is ethnic cleansing of genocidal proportion, whereby entire villages are wiped out, and the remaining people in that village are sacked from their community, and they have to become internally displaced persons somewhere else in Nigeria. Now, if a governor claims to know the people who are perpetrating these crimes, and he keeps quiet, he speaks tongue in cheek, shame on him. Shame on this governalia character who cannot muster the courage to name names, and he's just talking about politicians. It's absolute nonsense. If he knows the people, let him be bold enough to mention that. Is it when they kill his own family? Does he know how many families or how many villages in his state that have been wiped out? And he's here talking about politics? He should be ashamed of himself, because this is just playing to the gallery. Now, with regards to what is causing this thing, Nigerians have known this for a very long time. It is not farmers' headers clash. This is ethnic cleansing, where villages are being wiped out. And when the villages are wiped out, people are staying in those villages. Now, who are those people staying in the villages after killing the original inhabitants of that village? Now, we have an army, we have a police, and they allow such nonsense. It begins to make people suspect that maybe even the government of the day may be involved in this. Otherwise, when people have committed murder or have committed a genocide and are now occupying the lands of those they've killed, the army should move in and remove those characters from that place and restore the original owners, and not to give them food in the IDP camps. But I'm shocked and embarrassed that a so-called Catholic father, Reverend Father, who is a governor, can be mouthing politics when people are being slaughtered and killed. He should be ashamed of himself. Either he mentions the names of those people who are involved, or he keeps his mouth shut.
Interesting. So, Barrister Eze, before I let you go, you know the rift between Nyesom Wike, Amechi being part of a coalition or whatnot. Certain persons feel that Peter Obi is staying firm with, the Labour Party. He says he's not desperate to grab power, but a couple of persons are advising him that he needs to change his political tactic because the current political texture in this part of the world, the way they practice it, it will take a serious fundamental evisceration to make things be normal, what we consider to be normal. But that the way politics is done here is brutal, is British, is crude. Okay. Meanwhile, there were videos that circulated of when Nyesom Wike was working with Amechi and the praises he gave him. I'm sure you watched what happened on a Monitor television program very recently, where we heard the speaker, the spokesperson for Nyesom Wike speaking about Amechi and making a couple of statements about Nyesom Wike. About Rotimi Amechi. I want you to just briefly listen to Nyesom Wike then, reeling out praises for the former governor of Rivers State, who was also a minister of transportation. Let's listen to Nyesom Wike here, please, very quickly. Then you can respond.
Under Governor Rotimi Amechi has experienced a revolutionary transformation in the areas of education, healthcare, road infrastructure, power generation, etc. In the history of Rivers State, no administration has demonstrated greater commitment to accountability, transparency, and public participation in governance. Despite the magnitude of the developmental challenges facing the state, Dr. Rotimi Amechi has demonstrably shown that no developmental goal is impossible to achieve, neither is any hurdle difficult to surmount.
So this is Nyesom Wike then praising Rotimi Amechi and all whatnot. So what then happened between now and then? Is it true that it is anywhere belefis for Wike? Because people are expecting that there will be a rancor between him and the president now that they seem to be, in good faith. If the president is not able to acquiesce with any personal desire of Nyesom Wike at some point, they're expecting what transpired between him and Amechi to happen. And that's why we're beginning to see all of this emoluments by Nyesom Wike to Amechi at the time. Well, what would you say to this?
Well, the problem with the Nigerian system is that the system empowers charlatans.
Okay.
Raises them far above what they might have imagined, the level they would have imagined they will reach in their lives, and then when they get up such levels, they begin to mess up big time. Somebody like Nyesom Wike, somebody made him a governor. Somebody made him a local government chairman. From there, he was made chief of staff. From there, we saw him groveling before the former First Lady, Patience Jonathan, to support him to become governor. So when such a man now, because he's been made by others, now suddenly finds himself in a position where he forgets somebody also made him minister of the city, and he's talking, he's making so much noise. You begin to wonder, does he ever think, does he have retrospective thinking? But I'm not surprised from the kind of comments Wike makes. This was a man who a few months back, was referring to the APC as a cancer. That why would he leave his headache in PDP and jump into a cancer? He was a man that was telling us that how can he become a minister? He cannot be begging to be a minister, but he accepted to become Minister of Transport. So why must we, because such a character has become a minister and is now supported by the paraphernalia of office, begin to listen or quote such characters who have exhibited that they are subhuman, that they are below par, both IQ-wise and even character-wise. Yes, we have to suffer this because, yes, that's the system we have, a system that can prop up somebody who tells the world that he drinks hot drinks early in the morning, worth thousands of dollars. In other countries, those people will be in a rehab center thinking of how they be treated. But we have it so in Nigeria where such characters are put in a place where they create crisis. And because they lack reasoning, people like Wike lack reasoning, he forgets what has happened to those who acted the way he's acting now. And you don't have to look too far. Look at even his immediate predecessor in office, Rotimi Amechi, who was biting the finger that fed him when he went against Jonathan. Where is he now? He's now gallivanting, trying to look for relevance. That is what I'm sure will happen to Wike in a very short while. Wike forgets that he is relevant today because Bola Tinubu, the president, allows him to be a minister. The day he is sacked, and he can be sacked, The day he started, that is the end of all this noise he's making.
Well,
And
but
he sold that to ignominy.
the president has expressed his confidence on Wiki, praised him. They call him Mr. Project. He's delivering, he's repairing roads and all whatnot.
My dear, forget what this president tells him in the daytime or what happens in the next few hours. I mean, you should know how this politics plays out. If you saw Trump and Elon Musk last week, you wouldn't be thinking of what's going on now. So, I mean, forget what Tinubu said about Wiki. The day he crosses the Rubicon, he'll be thrown out, and that is the reality. And nothing will happen. So when people like Wiki make all this noise, you just pity him because he doesn't even realize how the frailty of being a mortal or being a mere mortal. And he begins to make such noise that I will support this person, I will install this person. Who are you? When as a human being, you don't even control the next breath you make. So we have to be very practical. I mean, when we can discuss what Wiki is saying for the fun of it, but I don't take such characters serious because they are just noisemakers.
All right, Barrister, before I let you go, what do you think about this proposed coalition? Are they serious? I mean, if you look at the persons part of the coalition, we've not heard anything yet. Although the ADC, the proposed party that they intend to join, has already started to create orientation and build stations like branches across the 36 states of the federation where they can start off their grassroots mobilization. They've been able to jump Peter Obi to Rotimi Amici, but because Peter Obi said he was going to remain with the Labour Party and he's not desperate for power, I think the Obedient Movement too were part of what formed his decision. They were not comfortable with either him partnering with Atiku Abubakar or with El-Rufai. So in that case, maybe he seemed to be in a crossroad. He's trying to be very strategic. But a couple of people feel that there is no time. They need to make up their minds and all whatnot. Meanwhile, about 100 and something new political parties have registered. They want to register with INEC. So it tells you that if INEC responds on time with those political parties, is it possible that one of the political parties would be a party that Peter Obi will be part of? Because the Labour Party says that they're not going to give him an automatic ticket. And if he's saying he remains with the Labour Party now, and the Labour Party, a lot of people don't trust the party. So where does he stand? Where does Atiku Abubakar stand? Where does El-Rufai stand? How are they being considered a formidable opposition? That the APC is not afraid of them because they feel that they're just gallivanting, they're not serious.
Well, the response to this question is that when you realize that a few days to the 2014 elections, the PDP was
Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, yes. You said what? You said in the 2014.
Yes, I said when you realize that in 2014,
yes,
before during the elections of 2014, the PDP was boasting that they will be in power for the next 60 years, and within a few months they were out of office. You realize and appreciate the dynamics of politics. I mean, what is going on? The posturing going on. The Peter will be saying he will be.
Hello, sir.
Wait.
Hello.
I'm hearing you.
Okay, the network is glitching. Continue, please.
Okay. So, I mean, all the posturing I'm seeing now,
Barrister Eze, let me try and connect with you back because the network again is pretty bad. We need to hear what you're saying. Mr. Lawal Ekunda, before I reconnect with Barrister Eze on that particular whatever, based on the question I just asked him, what would you think about this proposed coalition? Are they serious at all? With the body language, with their gesticulation, with their attitude towards everything, are they serious? Do you see them as people who are serious? Because if Peter Obi is no longer part of it, maybe he's not comfortable with the setting, as he said, he's not desperate for power. So do they seem like people that are serious? I mean, you've seen the responses and the backlashes on Rotimi Amici. So how will anyone want to consider him as a strong opponent against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027? Then you also see El-Rufai. There are a lot of skirmishes. People don't really trust him, even if some of the things he's saying is actually true now. But, his antecedents are not playing well for him. And Atiku Abubakar, people feel that he's so obsessed or too desperate. And also, if every one of them have high-stake interest, what opposition is there? People are defecting to the APC. Imaso and the Labour Party man that's part of the Code of Ethics Committee in the National Assembly, in the Senate. You remember Imaso, and he was one in charge of the investigate Natasha's behavior. Well, he's defecting to the APC very, very soon. So if you see this kind of things happening, what does that tell you? And there are permutations. The Rivers State Governor, suspended Governor Fubara, will definitely be joining the APC. So what then does this tell you?
Yeah, let me say something. You get it? Because the people trying to form coalition are not getting it right now. Doesn't mean that they are not serious.
Okay.
Maybe they have not actually reached the level in which we can begin to see them as they are moving forward. It's not that they are not moving forward, because for you to make an attempt to meet, you get it's a form of progress.
Okay.
So no hope is lost as of this moment, because the election has not been done, has not been stopped. Therefore, there's still hope. So for them that they are not getting it at this moment doesn't mean they are not making progress. They are making progress. They have been able to meet. They've been able to reach out to one another. They've been able to call some people, and they've been able to meet, and they've been able to talk. Even though it doesn't come out as we expected, that doesn't mean that they have failed.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that they are not serious.
Okay.
It just means that they have to sit down again and re-strategize again until they eventually get it right. That's what I see. And I want to make some clarifications. I want to talk to Peter Obi.
Okay.
Now, he keeps saying, I'm not desperate. I would advise him to go and study the word desperate. Because he seems not to really understand that word. You use that word desperate maybe in a democracy that is working, that we all know the direction. That's why you see they will do opinion poll before the election. People already know where the election will go. They will, even 2 weeks of the election, they'll be doing opinion poll, and then it will go. If you see predictions coming in, and then it will go. But in Nigeria here, it doesn't, because we don't practice normal democracy. We don't even practice democracy here. Our electoral system is not trusted. It's flawed. So where do you want to go? Those are the electoral body and the judiciary that determines the direction of election in Nigeria here. Now, if you look, I have a definition here from Google about desperate. It says to be desperate means feeling a strong sense of urgency. You get it? That there's urgency to save this country. Then he said, and hopelessness. Do you see hope in what is going on now? Or do you see hope that if there's a normal ground now, that if people will vote for me normal, and I'll see the result of what people voted for me. So are you sure?
You're saying that his desperation, maybe he's not understanding the word.
Yes, he doesn't. Because at this moment, you have to be desperate. Because you have to, based on the situation we have on ground now.
Don't you think he's trying to refer to desperate to grab power by all means?
You have to grab it. That's what I'm saying.
No, but he's trying to set a different template.
You can't,
different
because
from how it has always been.
Somebody has a family,
okay,
and the family have not eaten because you don't have a job, and they are crying every time you come home. They cry. You say that they are not eating. They don't go to school. Are you not going to be desperate to get a job? Are you not going to be desperate to provide for them? Are you not going to go on street and beg that, please, this is not the way I do things, but because of the situation I have at home, I need to beg, help me. And you see people begin to help you based on the fact that they see that at that moment your situation needs urgent attention.
All right.
Now, Nigeria at this moment needs urgent attention. It needs saving. So stop saying you don't want to be desperate. If you have the mind to save this country,
then you have to be desperate.
You have to be desperate. You have to grab the power. When you grab it, that is when people will not say, yeah, you not do that thing right.
Okay.
When you not do it right, people will not say, yes.
You're serious.
Yes, you are serious. Look at trial. People are praising trial.
Which trial?
The Burkina Faso Traore. Sorry, I pronounced it like English person. Why are they praising him now? Because he grabbed the power. Did they not grab it?
That's a military administration.
No, excuse me.
That's
I'm not going to see. Excuse me. Wait, I'm talking about whether Democrats, even in abroad, it get grab in UK, they grab it now. In US, how did Trump do it? Did he just come there smiling?
He applied every
yes. Anything that happened to him, he take advantage of it. Yeah. There was a time they tried to assassinate him. He made a big politics out of it. And got a lot of support. Every small thing, the capital.
So you're saying that Peter Obi is not playing the politics?
No, you don't. He's not playing politics. He's just playing this like an administrator. You get it. Administrator is appointed. You get it's not elected. You want to get elected. That is politics.
All right.
You don't get nobody calls you as a politician to come and no, you become an administrator. But when you want to become a politician, you have to act like a politician, and that is that you have to grab the power. You must get the power, and you have to be desperate to get that power.
All right.
So that is the analysis. You go and sit down and rethink it.
Rethink it.
Because if there is a time in which sometimes somebody will suffer.
All right.
Based on the fact that you are thinking that I should have done this thing. Why didn't I do it?
All right.
Because by the time you get to the next level where it is difficult, you know that the error you made last, that you were too docile. You get it about it. You were too soft. That was why.
Barrister Eze, thank you. I finally have you on the line. I was waiting for Mr. Lawal Ekundayo to land so that I can come up with you.
As a teacher,
Barrister Eze, so Mr. Lawal Ekundayo is helping us to redefine the word desperation. Peter Obi has always said he's not desperate. All right, he's not desperate for power. But in the context of the manner with which politics is done in this part of the world to grab power, he is not going to go along that route. For him, he wants to create a different footprint. But Mr. Lawal Ekundayo is saying that understanding the kind of politics we play here, the texture of politics we play here, you cannot be nice, you cannot be gentle. If you want to create that change, you have to play with the system, and then when you get there, you change what you have to change. So do you think Peter Obi doesn't understand the word desperate, or he needs to be desperate if he intends to actually become a leader in this country? Hello, Barrister Eze, are you there? Can you hear me?
Well.
Yes, the question is for you. Yes, go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Barrister Eze. Hello? Hello?
I am hearing you very well.
Yeah, please kindly respond then.
With our assistant.
Respond, please. Barrister Eze, respond. Okay, I think we're having a network situation.
You very well.
But you're not responding. Respond. It's time for you to respond.
Okay. Now, can I go ahead now?
Yes, I've been saying so since. The question was for you.
Okay. Mr. Kundayo seems not to appreciate the kind of politics Peter Obi is playing.
Okay.
You are not desperate when you start throwing tantrums or making noise or breaking stuff or going on the streets and rioting. But I think Mr. Peter Obi has shown sufficient interest in becoming the president by the efforts he's making to popularize himself, visit locations, and continue with the campaign over the years. So I don't think you expect at this level for him to show desperation by hitting the streets or getting violent. No, he cannot be violent. Because if he does that, he will fall victim to the system. So I think, but what I want people to appreciate is this. The posturing that is going on now, whether it will be in Labour or in other parties, is immaterial, because when the right time comes, the coalitions will be set up, and then we must ensure that this system now that has pauperized Nigeria does not continue. Because I can't see Nigerians surviving even the next 2 years at this rate. The economy has been, people have been strangulated, people can't pay their fees in hospitals, schools are not worth going to again. So how can we continue with this?
But Barrister, the supporters of the administration feel that the president's economic policies are vying up well. His supporters believe that his economic policies are good, that things will work, that we should look at the state governors, we should look at the local government chairmen, we should look at the ministers, councillors, senators, that the president increased their FAC allocation, gave them more money for their constituency projects. What are they doing with it? They are the ones that are meant to get democracy at the grassroots, development at the grassroots. Why we're not holding them accountable?
You know, that is not it. Why I say it's not the truth is this. The fish rots from the center. Though Nigeria claims to be a federal republic, Nigeria operates like a unitary state with everything controlled by the center. If, for instance, the police or the FCC was effectively going after criminals at the state, local government, and other units of government, they will all sit up. But at the situation whereby at the center you see humongous fraud and corruption going on, then you expect the state governments and local governments to sit up. It doesn't happen. They are following the direction of the center. We see fraud being very gigantic fraud playing out at the center, and you want the states and local governments to do what? No, it doesn't work that way. So the whole excuse that is giving money, were you supposed to dash money to the states? Was then supposed to, there should be some kind of monitoring and evaluation of funds. And if the funds are not being well utilized, you know what to do if the government is really serious. You can't just give the state government 500 billion and then you say, yes, the governors can use that will, and nothing happens. And then you now say we should blame the governor. No. When you, as the federal, you control the police, control the EFCC, control virtually everything, and you continue to give money to a non-performing state, and you think we should not start blaming the local government. No. The blame, every blame, should rise at the center. Nigeria is such that if we have a good ruler at the center, this country will right itself. But so long as what we have is these characters at the center, nothing good is going to come out of the system. Even if you have an angel as the governor in the state, the system will mess him up because they will restrict funds going to him. They will make sure that the state is ungovernable. The police will make sure that there is no investment or trade opportunities going on in the state because no governor controls the police. Everything is controlled by the center. So don't put any blame on the state or local government. All the blame is at the center.
All right, Barrister Oluche, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you taking your time to be part of the conversation. When questions come at you, we'll call you for you to respond.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
You too, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, we want to open the phone lines on time. They've already started sending messages and shouting at me that Esther, to better make sure you open the phone lines on time for us to talk
please,
today.
Can you just give me 1 minute?
I wanted to ask you about the INEC guy, the Imaswen guy, who is telling us about Labour Party, that as it stands, the party is in shreds. It has no political ideology, it has no direction, it has no modus operandi, nothing. So on June 12th, he'll officially be defecting to the APC. Said the party is in shreds. That is so bad that even candidates that want to run with the party, because there is indecision about the INEC, the Labour Party chairman, that INEC finds it difficult to download who the authentic candidate is, and is putting them at a disadvantage. They cannot even campaign. This is what he said. He says he was leaving the party because of courage of President Bola Tinubu, who has courageously taken some steps and carried out policies that will help in the growth and development of the country. That the president must be supported in all ramifications, following his vision for the country and what he's doing on behalf of Nigeria. So he says, for example, that he heard from some quarters that with the crisis in Labour Party, it may be difficult for INEC to download the name of the candidates because of the issue of who is the authentic national chairman of the party. That over the past month, it has become increasingly clear that the Labour Party, as it currently stands, has become disconnected from the aspirations of the very Nigerians it seeks to lead. Internal divisions, lack of ideological clarity, inability to provide a credible forward-looking agenda has made it difficult for leaders like him to pursue the reform of the political party. So would you blame him for having to connect with another political party that can help him in his political career?
Okay, so that can help him.
And this is the party that Peter Obi is saying that he intends to run with. Look at all the description with the party. And up till now, this guy is still parading himself as the chairman of the party, Julius Aburi.
Let me clarify something.
Okay.
A party is made up of members. He is part of the member. So if there's a problem in that party, he's part of the problem. And if there's a solution in that party, it's part of the solution. If the party is making progress, it's part of the progress. If the party is having issues, it's part of the party. So for him now to say he's defecting, it shows that he is a problem of the party. He is one of the problems. People who use excuses to quickly run out. Okay, let me say you go to APC now, and then there's a small issue that you now defect again. Documents have been presented. CTC has been presented to INEC. INEC has refused to do anything. And you are saying that the party is not making what about the decision from the INEC? So when people want to, a wife that wants to divorce is commit adultery, she will always find an excuse. Like maybe the husband did not give me money to buy maybe a ring.
Okay.
You'll be wondering, but you are working now. He's part of it, but now he's creating flimsy excuses in order to be able to go, move to another area of a greener pasture. That is what he's doing. Because if all of you refuse to defect and remain in that party, and you stamp your feet that no, this party must put forward, you make up the party now. The party is made up of people. It's not made up of goats and chicken. It's made up of people like him and every other person. So if all of them remain there and fix that party will do well. It's so simple like that. But when you defect, you create problem, you defect. You create problem, you defect. That's what is happening.
Why do you think that the opposition political parties are finding it difficult to resolve their issues? For example, the APC, they have a way of putting themselves together somehow. Is it that there is no leader that they look up to in each of these opposition political parties? For example, there were speculations that the president and the governor of Lagos State literally had a rift. You could see the Cold War between them sort of. We saw a video when the president was commemorating flagging of the 30-kilometer Lagos-Calabar coastal highway, and then also the Lekki Deep Sea Port Free Trade Zone, where he was talking about revocation of land and all that, especially for those who did not go through the proper channels. He now said that, thank God the deputy governor is here. Meanwhile, the governor of the state was in that particular gathering. So that obviously affirmed that indeed there was an issue. Now, they all went to meet the president today, along with Obasa and a couple of others. He prostrated for the president, and the president said, everything is okay for now. We are okay. We are good. So if that is something that they can work with, the aspirants for the local government elections coming up in July 12th. Now, there were those who are complaining about imposition of candidates on them, that they didn't go through the process. They set up a reconciliation committee. They will definitely look through it. We've not heard anything. They will resolve the matter. So this mechanism that the APC has, that's why the party seems to be organized. Even if there are internal wranglings or fractions, they know how to pull themselves together. Why can't the opposition do the same thing?
See, we know the ideology of APC. The ideology is always one person makes the total decision.
Okay.
That is the ideology. That's one of the things that's affecting APC.
Okay.
There is ideology. This is what I want, and that is what everybody must do. Okay. So if you are not doing it, that means you are against me. Okay. That is the way APC is run compared to other parties in which they are structured. Some of them have BOT, some of them have elders forum, some of them, so many other areas in which their decisions cannot be made by one person. So with that, it is easier to break the one that is structured than the one that is not structured. It is easier to break the one that is, because if you have 5-6 executives that makes decision, of course, the moment you get one out of them, that one will be creating problem, just like what Wike is doing to PDP.
All right.
He's not leaving PDP and is with the opposition and pressing the opposition, supporting the opposition, and he is in the other one. So anytime you want to gather together, he's the one to make sure that something is not going to. So that's why you see all those happening, because their structures are different. Each one, some are well structured, some are not. They are not well structured. Because
what are you talking about? Which one is?
I'm talking about the parties.
The political parties.
Yes.
Okay.
So the one that is not well structured, that is controlled by one person, that one person can decide what he wants across board, and it will go. It's either you are part of it or you are not part of it. The other one, you can't make that decision. You can't do that. That is what is happening with. And now the problem with Labour and many of this opposition is that because of that structure, it's easy to infiltrate them. The moment you have a compromise among you, and that compromise is one of those people that are very strong in that party, you'll be having issue.
All right.
Maybe he's a strong financial member. He's one of the founding. You have issues.
All right.
That is what is going on.
All right. Let's take your reaction. The number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. What's going on? Hello.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes, good evening. Please, what's your name?
Good evening. My name is Ogechi Best. I'm calling from Promedia.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
The problem of Labour Party is not Labour Party per se. The problem is the ruling party. They have infiltrated them and they are using them. They make sure that nothing work out so that they will win the election. So I would like Labour Party to stay as they are until when it is time they will wake up. Because last time, such a long time, they infiltrated them very well and destroyed the Labour Party in Lagos State. So nothing will happen. We are waiting for them. Okay. Nigeria must be good. We will vote whoever that is good, but not the ruling party. God bless you for the work well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. All right. Hello, good evening.
Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Mr. Kundaya, good evening. This is John Legend calling from
John
good evening,
Legend. Sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Esther.
Sir.
In that station now you are working. If you are earning 1 million naira there in a month, somebody come there and promise you that come and work in my station, I will pay you 10 million. Won't you go?
Well, it depends on what the other station represents. If it doesn't represent
Good.
what I believe in,
that is the situation of APC and other parties. They are the people controlling everything in Nigeria. They are controlling the police. They are controlling the DSS. They are controlling the military. They are even controlling the economy of the country. So anything you want, you need, they can will you anything you want for you to come to their party. So in Nigeria government, we don't have a database. There is no accountability. So even if you want one side of this mushi, the APC can give it to you for you to jump into their party. So that is it. And now, Wike, except something over Wike, the GDP of River State, how River State earn their money. So Wike was just a last past governor who carry almost all the whole money in River State and enter into APC. So he have every right. I don't believe that there is other rich politicians again left in PDP that can challenge him because he see any fat money. You know the kind of car he's driving now.
John
you know the kind
Legend, you see the money. You see the money. Don't be making wild allegations without facts. So, Biko, hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? 08036929933. That's the number to call. Turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it down. Please, when you call, turn down the volume of your radio. We've always told you this. We can't be repeating the same thing over and over now. I beg you. All right? Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, my sister. God bless you and your analyst.
Thank you very much, sir. What's your name?
Thank you very much. My name is Malam Bello Usman. I am calling you currently from Abdullahi Adamu Farm, Kimpi, Nasarawa State.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You see, in fact, Nigeria has been waiting patiently since 2023 after the election. Nigeria has been waiting for His Excellency Peter Obi and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to tell Nigeria that yes, Nigeria, we are sorry for all what is happening in Nigeria today. That Nigeria should forgive them because we are the one that caused this kind of problem you are passing through in Nigeria today. Because if we are join our hands together, I and Obi join our hands together, I'm not sure that you pass through what you are passing through in Nigeria today. They are failure to join hands together in 2023 lead us to where we are today, because Nigerians are going through pain. Because if Atiku and His Excellency will join hands together in 2023, I'm not sure that what we are passing through today. We are in prison in Nigeria today. Are you with me?
I'm with you. I am with you, Malam. I'm with you.
We are in prison in our own country. Why are we in prison? This current president told us that he removed the subsidy because few people are enjoying that subsidy. That's why I removed it from them. And he collected the subsidy from the few, gave it to 36 state governors. He is telling us that 36 state governors are getting more funds. Okay, what that fund that they are getting, what effect that fund has shown in the life of Nigeria? And this president knows the kind of governors that we have in Nigeria. If we are talking about patriotism, by the way, I hear some governors talking about patriotism. Are they patriotic Nigeria? If you are patriotic Nigeria, PDP or men for development or whatever, you can convert it or siphon it for another means. So that doesn't show the patriotic, show them as a patriotic Nigerian. And by the way, by the grace of Almighty God, my advice for His Excellency Mr. Obi and Atiku Abubakar, Atiku, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, come 2027, I need that. As I'm talking to you, I'm on my knee. I am begging them, use them of Almighty God. Whatsoever party they should join hands together and make sure that they each other now they kick this cancer and COVID-19 from this country. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Malam, thank you. Well done. Thank you for calling.
God, I can't stop laughing.
Hello, good evening, sir. How are you?
That's
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening.
You very interesting.
How are you?
I'm enjoying that man anyway.
Me too,
See,
that.
Esther, you're complaining. Mr. Kunda is saying about P2B not being violent.
Yes.
You see how your voice, whenever Mr. Dalente and other people like Mr. Kunda, when they are angry,
yes,
they shout at the same studio there.
Yeah.
They will keep their anger and everything, and your own voice is like how will I put, like pure water that is not cold, that is very cold. That's the way P2B is in the political system. Sure. No matter how angry, if you happen to be on the position of P2B, you are kind of P2B lifestyle. But that's by the way. I wish you guys all the best. Number one is that this being aggressive on the political party.
Yeah.
My prayer, Obi should not join those coalition, whatever.
Okay.
Whether they like it or not. As far as God keep us alive. Maybe they will do campaign now. Tinubu, is he not going to come out and go and tell us what he wants to do? With all this thing that he's stressing himself, trying to talk for 1 minute, he will talk for like 4 minutes. He will be let him come. He will come out and walk around. Now this is why they are hiding him. Now Wike is postman of Tinubu. Leave that one aside. All those ones who will get there and will pass. If they really want Nigeria to work, 2027 will let us know whether Nigeria will work or Nigeria will go. Because this one about violence. If anybody say any violence in the east, they will arrest him. What I will do now, maybe I will be using the northerners or the southerners to be speaking about Biafra with violence. Say if they don't allow free and fair election in 2027, now Biafra will, I will using that. Me myself, I will be using that violence. That's what I will do. Esther, please, I will call you. I don't know when your birthday is. I will come and bring Mr. Kundayo's drink for you to help me to give me enjoy your birthday. I want to go and watch ball. Because of me, I was standing outside. I want to go and watch ball.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther. Good evening.
Ben from Iba. How are you, sir?
Yes, fine. Yes, sir.
Well done, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah, he's fine. He's listening to you.
My barrister of the year.
All right, sir. Go ahead.
I want Yakubu Gowon to be more concerned about what is going on in his own state. Like these people are dying like farm. Why is he not talking about it? Telling us about the Biafran war. We Southeasterners have moved on now. They're forgetting what has happened that time. 1970, 1967 to 79. We have forgotten about it. It's a very long time ago. Presently, people are dying. Benue people are dying. Plateau people are dying. His communities. This one has never uttered a word. He can solve that problem. Why is he silent about it? Concerning P2B, I'm telling you the truth. P2B is Nigeria's choice. 2023, we saw the exploit upon all that APC did, upon all the structures, all the mechanisms Buhari used against the election. P2B, everybody knows that P2B won that election, 2020. He won it clear. They were saying how they apart from in Plateau, we saw the result in Plateau because 1.2 million votes in Plateau. Some of them changed. We share it into two. Hello?
I can hear you, Ben. I'm listening to you.
We saw in Lagos, P2B did not get 500, 600 or something. P2B will got more than 900,000 votes in Lagos. They reduced it again. In Benue, people were crying that this is not what they saw. And some people were crying that it's not what they reduced it of this vote in Gombe. In Northern State, Northern has voted for Obi. Middle Belt has voted for Obi. So Obi doesn't even need anybody. I'm telling you the truth. There is nobody that can do the exploit Obi did 2023. He went to an unknown party. Why I think he's getting votes? Because it's in PDP. If PDP do not field any presidential candidate, PDP will get up to 6 million votes. Obi went to an unknown party, and people say Obi is defecting from which party to another party. Obi has never defected at all. Then when they say you defect, it's when you move to a ruling party. It is not when you go to an unknown party to show your own popularity. Let Tinubu go to an unknown party now. Choose one political party that is not in power. You will see that Tinubu will not get 600,000 votes.
Are you sure?
Will not get 1 million. I'm telling you the truth. Without rigging, free fair election. If you go to an unknown party, show your popularity. Let Amwechi go to an unknown party now and show his popularity. Obi left PDP and joined Labour Party. Labour Party got 5,000 votes in 2019 general presidential election. 19,000 votes, and he got 11 million votes in 2019 under PDP as a deputy, as Atiku's deputy. He left it and went to Labour Party, an unknown party, unknown structure, no councillor, no local government chairman, no house of assembly, no governor, no nothing at all, no single person, no single signboard in any state. Yet we saw what he won the election. So anywhere P2B is, Nigerians are behind it. P2B doesn't even need any coalition at all.
All right, thank you, Ben.
In as much as I've seen El Rufai, I'm not comfortable with anything again.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ben, for calling. All right. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Auntie.
Yes, good evening, ma. How are you, ma?
I thank God, sir.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Roy. I'm calling from Ireland.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Wow, you do not like my hot cake. I don't go tired.
Sorry.
The first day when I call, we clap for me today, and I don't get so tired.
Sorry.
You know the gate.
Sorry.
I say, maybe I will create a new line for new callers.
All right.
So that will be the general conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very happy for what is happening this night. Thank you so much for all your work. May God continue to thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, this time around, I think what is happening in Nigeria, people are suffering. The suffering don't reach all the whole dog of everybody. So this time around, I hope that everybody will buckle up to make sure that we choose the right leader this time around. We don't feel, but anybody we can be able to rescue from the hands of this present administration. I think we are following the person. So let the right time come.
Okay.
So I pray that God will be able to let everybody let us be 2027, and that day let us see what God will do. I hope that God will turn the heart of every human being of Nigeria, because the way things is now, many people tell everybody.
All right.
It's so difficult.
Thank you. Honestly, amen. All right. Thank you very much for calling. All right. Thank you. So I'm gonna take a few messages. I'll still come back to the calls. I'm coming, Mr. Lawa. Okay. I need to really take reactions. So here I'm coming. Just hold that thought. You'll say it in your wrap up. Hi Esther, I totally back Peter Obi's resolution not to be desperate. I hate to say this, but this present Nigeria is not ready for a leader. They should keep enjoying their beautiful rulers. Olu from Egbeta. And by the way, General Gowon should stop talking at this point. Okay. Thank you, Olu, for your message. Wike is not a friend to anyone. He's just after his stomach, playing games with Nigerians in the name of politics. You didn't put your name here. Good evening, Esther and gentlemen. Men like Peter Obi can't fight for presidency alone. He has presented his records and competence. It's his supporters that will now fight to make him president. The citizens will compel him to do their bidding if they vote and fight for him. Unlike a president that boasted he funded his own election with his personal money and he's doing whatever he likes. From Chief Udo. Okay, now it's obvious that Gowon, if not, what is he afraid of at the age of 90 years? For the many times he has made public appearances since the inception of this administration, the only thing he has been doing is how he fought the Biafrans to unite Nigeria. He has never for once mentioned the ethnic cleansing being perpetrated against his own people on a daily basis by the Fulani jihadists. No wonder the jihadists preferred him as the head of state then than the one who was the right person then. What an irony. I pray he recovers soon, hence he doesn't have much time to live here on earth, whether he likes it or not. But that God preserves him till date is for a purpose. The earlier he realizes, the better for him. Eugene Murray from Ishari. Okay. Okay, I've seen your messages. Okay. Good evening, Esther. I like your guest, Mr. Ekundaya. Before he speaks, he will say, "Do you get it?" Yes, I got it. But my friend didn't got it. What can I do to him to understand? I like that word. Do you get it? Esther, frankly? Okay. Well, though, you did put your name. So Mr. Lawa is going to be Mr. Do you get it? Happy Sunday, Esther, Mr. Ekundaya and VP family. If Benue governor is a Catholic priest, who is the first lady of Benue state? When the re-radicalized terrorists that are absorbed in the military become military chiefs, how will Nigeria be? The way things are going in the land, it is difficult to predict a bright future. Psychophants are using noise to cover the level of rot in our system. May God save our land. Amechi from Mafaluku. All right. Good evening, Esther. Nothing Musa no go see for gate. Comparing Tinubu with Obi is like comparing lake with beach. So annoying. How? Where do they make this their politics or something? Okay, Esther, please help me tell my brother Bush has destroyed his farms. What Bush? Weed has destroyed his farms. Which of your brother? Which one are you referring to? Okay. Somebody says only a clown and Okponu would listen to the gibberish the Benue State governor is yapping. When Mr. Samuel Outen of the PDP was there, it was politically motivated. Now the Ali of the APC is there, it's also politically motivated by politicians of what party exactly? All those are useless excuses from the usual template used by lazy individuals to cover up their ineptitude and gross cluelessness in fighting insecurity. If you claim to know the names of thieves havocing in your community and you choose not to expose them, then you are a co-conspirator, a thief or a jester who is not fit. Then you are a co-conspirator for the position of governance. To Obi saying he's not desperate to become president, I have said it that it's a political statement. If he's not serious, he should go and sit down. Nigeria doesn't need a person who smiles with everyone, especially his enemies. One must know their place in this world, else you'll be used as a footmat. This is from Tay. All right, President Tinubu isn't a failure. The real issue lies in accountability. With increased allocations to states, local governments receiving over 500 million naira monthly, House of Rep members getting 1 billion for constituency projects, and senators 2 billion naira. The question is, what's the impact of these funds? Let's demand answers from our representatives. Abidin from Offa, Kwara State. I actually asked that question. I said, the governors, they've increased their fat. The senators, the House of Rep members, the councillors, the local government chairman, what are they doing with this funds?
No, you know what they are saying. What Nigerians is saying is that you said few people are benefiting from the subsidy, so you took it from Nigerians, but you still gave it to the same few people because it governors and they are still few. So there's no difference, and the same suffering got worse from what you started from.
Boswa, Esther Wachiko, and gentlemen in the studio, I'm Engineer Carlo from Benin Republic. Please tell Nigerians that coming elections 2027 is between APC and Nigerians, especially APC and Obedience. Good evening, Esther, Ekundaya, and Barrister Uche. I would like General Gowon to answer this question. Looking at the country today, do you feel justified prosecuting the civil war, or do you feel used by the powers that be to wage a needless war? As for the coalition talk, PDP and Labour Party is gone, with Abure and Damagum hanging on to power. SDP and ADC are not free from APC infiltration either. The only way out is to register a new party. Something tells me that Tinubu will not be eligible to run because the report that the Supreme Court rejected on the ground that it was submitted late will resurface along with that of CIA in 2027. Let's wait and see. Okay. I don't know. I don't think so. But let's see. Hello. Good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio now. Okay. This thing is not fair. The time is short. I always tell you, be cool, help us. Oyebuchi Aradobu from Ojo. Good evening, dear VOP family. The governors and the rest of the politicians are only concerned in joining and defecting to APC. No human sympathy from most of them. Believe I share at your own risk. As for General Gowon, he's confessing gradually and he will still confess more. All right. Hello, good evening. How are you? Good evening, sir. What's your name, sir?
My name is Yakubu Christopher.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
I greet Mr. Ogundaya.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Please, anytime Obi said it's not desperate, I wondered. The country you care about is going down and you said you are not desperate. Nigerians are dying. Things are turning upside down. You said you are not desperate. In this case, you need to be desperate so that you can save this country. Because playing this gentleman politics, to be honest, it won't get you anywhere. The judiciary, the electoral system is corrupt. You don't really need to be corrupt before you get there. But you need to put this sense of madness, desperation, so that you act fast. We will be obedience are behind him. If the Labour Party is not serious, he should join the coalition and come out and give us the reason why we need to, and we'll move there with him. Let's save this country from choke, please. We are dying. We are dying, please. They should tell him he should put on that desperate coat. Let all of us be desperate together.
Thank you. 230 million of Nigerians are suffering over the removal of subsidies that is being enjoyed by 469 National Assembly members, 36 state governors, 774 local government chairmen, according to Tinubu. Esther, please calculate the ratio if we were to vote. They're not even up to 2,000. Forget about defections. Let there be free and fair elections in 2027. Sarah Fadin Ajao. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Sister Esther.
Good evening. Turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it down. Turn it down, please. Okay, Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, what's your final take?
What I'm just I want to take some few minutes to go to
1 minute, because
1 minute.
Yes, time is over.
Okay, so go to this what Gowon said.
Okay,
he has forgotten that the day he got into that day of a coup, that he got into power after the coup was the day that democracy ended in Nigeria. And since then, we have never had every other thing we have done has always been shrouded in whether somebody gave it to somebody don't give it to somebody. That was when democracy ended. So he is a major problem, because as of that time, he refused to leave power. There was a coup against him, because when he promised to hand over to democratically elected government, he postponed it. So they had to remove him by coup. So he is now speaking about the question is, some people said they don't want to be together with the democracy we had at that time when the white was there. At 1956, I think, that they said they wanted independence. The North said they were not ready. South and the West said, the West and the East said they were ready. So, but they said they are not going to get that independence until the North joined them. So the white men gave them opportunity to go and think about it. So they went and convinced the North. It took them 2 years to convince the North to go along with the remaining 2 regions. That is democracy. That's what they call democracy, which is about negotiation, it's about referendum, it's about agreement. Right. But when he was in power, there was no that democracy died. So he was one of the killer of democracy. So that's why up till now we don't have democracy in Nigeria.
All right, that's Mr. Lawal's takeoff. That's a wrap on the political spotlight. We have a program coming up next. My name is Esther Machko. I will definitely be seeing you tomorrow. And obviously, Monday is Barrister Darlington's Day. We will be discussing a couple of salient issues going on within our economic, political, and social atmosphere right here in Nigeria. Meanwhile, continue to enjoy your Ilea. Nobody has sent me around. You've not sent me around. My name is Esther Machiko. Have yourself an amazing evening. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Estiq Media. ESTIQMEDIA. ESTIQMEDIA. Mr. Lawal Ekundaya on Facebook. Esther Machiko on Facebook. Esther Nwaz on Instagram. That's ESTANWAZ. VOP is your family, and here we actually put out your voice. Have yourself an amazing evening. Bye for now.